Galen. Ooh, ah. Francis Bean, I just died in your pants tonight. Must have been that good bitchy face. Okay, kids, this is what I wanted to tell you, though. I have nothing really to tell you today. Did you see that, though? The short, I love you. I'm starting to love the short shit because I just wish they were longer because there's such weirdos that make those. Axl Rose at the peak of his power. I'm like, dude's fucking 25 years old there. Maybe he's at the peak of dick for you. I mean, I understand now how bitches feel. There was a pig there. Look at that. Look at the ass on him. Look at him running around the track. No, see, we didn't get to see Axl really peak. I mean, he was pretty much retired by then. You never know. I mean, look at guys like Glenn Danzig, who just peaked and peaked and peaked and peaked and peaked until he was fucking almost 50 years old. That's one of my favorites. You know, I think you know that. One of my all-time favorites. I don't think he nearly gets enough credit as he should. Just is a marvelous singer. Incredible fucking singer. I spent my life trying to sing like that and write songs like that. I mean, he was great in the Misfits. Wasn't the Misfits great? I mean, yeah, they got a lot of fans. They were great. But he was like 25 then. And then he continued to, he had Sam Hain. And then he had Danzig. And then it's just good boy music. It's really good. And the bitches liked it too. I need a bitch that looks like Francis Bean. I like that type. I made up my mind. I want a little blonde girl. But I was watching this thing this morning on Alice in Chains because I enjoy them. I like them looking back. I liked them then. Where are my cigarettes? And Jerry Cantrell. Fucking weird. We got a lot of... I lost a pack of cigarettes tonight. We had a lot in common. Yeah, I mean, even though I was just a kid when they were going, we were both in the age bracket where his father was a Vietnam veteran too. And I know how he feels, the shit he's talking about. I was looking at the lyrics of Rooster, and I'm like, yeah, it sounds like the shit I would hear my father say about the mosquitoes and the malaria. And, you know, because every now and again, every time my father would have a nervous breakdown or something, he would talk about Nam. Remember one time, he always smoked Marlboro Soft Pack my whole life. I went to see him in the Nut Ward one year. And and he was smoking Camel non-filters. And I smoke Camel filters. I'm like, what are you doing smoking those? He's like, I just thought I'd get a couple packs. Reminds me of Nam. When you were late coming back from KP, that you had to, you know, if you weren't first, you had to smoke what was left. And most of the time it was Camel non-filters. Around the time I was 19 or 20, and he talked to me about Vietnam finally. And he had a long tour there. And I think he used to take pictures, and then he became infantry. And when you walked into my house, he had a little room set up with all his medals on the wall and little frames and glass boxes that he would dedicate to himself, you know. And he had his malaria pill in there, a big pill for malaria. He had his marijuana pipe in there, and his Zippo for the big red one. He used to say, it's my favorite thing. He used to say it had a picture of Snoopy because that was the mascot for his infantry, and it had Snoopy standing there, and it said, "When I die, I want the world to bury me face down so the whole world can kiss my ass." Big red one, infantry, and he had his you know, like I told you before, he had his patch there for "Dare Not Touch Me." No, let me Tanger. Just his little awards. And he had thousands and thousands of very graphic photos of you know, a lot of bulldog people digging holes in there, and just stacks and stacks and stacks of nude bodies that were with bluish hue dead Vietnamese people that were getting ready to be thrown into these pits and get covered with lye or whatever. And Jerry's father must have did a couple tours because, it's weird. I think that's the last generation of rock stars is people like me whose fathers fought in the Vietnam War. And when he talks about his upbringing, it's the same thing as me. It's just like they carried a lot of baggage back from that war. They were quiet most of the time. They had PTSD. I remember my father waking up when he'd come home from work and take a nap in his male uniform. He'd wake up screaming, "There's fucking bugs all over me, oh my God." Shit like that. And he'd be ashamed about it. He brought back drug problems from there. It was a love-hate thing with Vietnam with him. He loved it and he fucking hated it. You could see that he just wasn't right. He would go and take us to see fireworks and shit, but he didn't enjoy it. He used to say, did you like that, kids? He'd be like, yeah, the fireworks were great. What? Where were you? How come you didn't enjoy that, Dad? Seen enough fireworks in Nam. And that's all you'd get your whole life. And as a young boy, I was like, it took me years to figure out this is why he was the way he was. And he was heavily into music, I remember him telling me, we got into an argument one time. He's there on the couch singing along to fucking something. He used to sing along to Danzig's Mother too. He loved that song. You think he liked Danzig a lot too. After a while, he heard so much of it. And he used to come down when my band was playing and be like, "Do Mother, do it, or I'll sing it." Because I was in my father's band at the same time. I'm like, "Dad, don't sing it." "Okay, I'll sing it." And then he'd laugh, go up and look at my mother. But Jerry Cantrell's mother was named Gloria. That's my mother's name. And yeah, it's fucking weird. Yeah, but I don't think, that to me I think that was the last time rock bands were rock bands. All those bands, they're all basically, we're all children of Vietnam veterans. And, yeah, I don't know how it is with these Gulf veterans, but I think it was a different war because these men did not come back right. I remember my father, too. He had another band while I was in his band, but he had a cheaper band that he would go with on the weekends to, just to pick up some money, and he liked to practice and sing. I don't know where he found the time to do all this, but I came into the living room once, and I was headed out to a show, and it was snowing out, and he's like, "All right, be careful in the car," and this and that. And he's listening to Billy Ray Cyrus, and at the time, I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, "Yeah, I gotta sing this song with this other band." And I was kind of laughing, picking on him. He's like, "Billy Ray Cyrus is a great man. You see this record? Some gave all. What do you think that means?" I'm like, "It sounds like the title of a Vietnam book." I'm like, "Oh, okay." He had to sing shit like that. He had to go with his other band and sing Hootie and the Blowfish and just he was in a bar band, on the motorway. And it kind of brought me back. Yeah, our fathers were, it was a fucking strange war. But it's like, yeah, I don't know if Rooster could relate the song. I don't know if anybody could relate to it anymore unless you're my age. He had his rosary beads in there too. I'm just thinking, Jesus Christ. Is that what you would do at night? Yep.
He was at his peak.
He's 25 years old. Maybe sexually. I mean, maybe to you.
He was at his peak there.
If you peaked at 25, I feel for you. I had other motherfuckers telling me when I peaked. I'm like, how the fuck would you know? I bobbed and weaved. I wasn't seen like that. I was always peaking. I'm still getting better. I'm at my peak now.
The Axl Rose.
Don't worry about Axel. People got to stop fucking with their faces. That's what's important. I think Axel fucks with his face too much. I'm like, why? You know, you're a good-looking guy to begin with. You don't really need any. Why? You know how it goes. But let's do it. Let's get on that good pussy while we're still peeking here. You know what I mean? I want to peek out inside some blonde bitches.